Recording in progress.
So, 1 Samuel chapter 1, it reads, Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Anna, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb. And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Anna, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way, and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. And they rose up in the morning early, and worshipped before the Lord, and returned, and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about, after Anna had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. And Elkanah her husband said unto her, Do what seemeth thee good. Tarry until thou have weaned him. Only the Lord establish his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her, with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour, and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. And they slew a bullock and brought the child to Eli. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. Here ended the reading. So we are now going to break down this chapter. Amen. So we see chapter 1 introducing this man, Elkanah, right? So it is giving us a foundation to say where it started from, the lineage of this man. So it says he's from that place in Mount Ephraim, right? And the name Elkanah means God has possessed or God has created, right? And it says he's the son of Jeroham, Elihu, Tohu, and so it's listing out father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and going down the bloodline. And Ephrathite. And the place Ramathimozophim of Mount Ephraim, it means the heights of the watchers, right? Or the double heights of the watchers. It is indicating the elevated structure of the place. So it was in the land of Ephraim, and it was about 5 to 10 miles north of Jerusalem. So it was kind of on a hill. And when it tells us who Elkanah's father was, Jeroham, and Jeroham was the son of Elihu, and Elihu was the son of Tohu, we realize based on 1 Chronicles 6 verses 34 to 38, we realize that he was from the tribe of Levi, right? And he lived in the land of Ephraim, because remember the Levites, they didn't get any land, no land was divided for them. So what happened at that time was that when the Israelites, when the land was divided among them, they were supposed to leave a portion and give it to the Levites, so they would have land, and they would have land to live and farmland and a land as a place of refuge, right? So 1 Chronicles 6 verses 34 to 38, it show you the bloodline that he came from. He came from the tribe of Levi. And it goes further now in verse 66 to tell you that he is from the tribe, the family of Kohath. So Kohath was, one of the Levites. And they were given cities in the land of Ephraim. So it give you a timeline and, kind of set the foundation so you can know who is who and where them come from. And these Kohathites now, in Numbers 3 verses 30 to 31, it said that they were the ones that were given the charge to look after the furniture in the sanctuary. So it reads, and the chief of the house of the father of the families of the Kohathites shall be Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel. And their charge shall be the ark and the table and the candlestick and the altars and the vessels of the sanctuary wherewith they minister, and the hanging and all the service thereof. Right? So that was to tell you their role, because not all the Levites were allowed to be priests or high priests. There were some that carried the furniture, some that look after the furniture, some that carried the poles, but they were dedicated to the work of the sanctuary, but everybody had a different function. Okay, so it said now that he had 2 wives. One of them was Anna, and the name Anna means grace or favor, and the name of the other was Penina, and that name means pearl or precious stone. Because them Jewish people, they take pride in giving their children names. The names must say something about their character, their future, or something that is good and godly. Right? So that was their names. So in verse 3 now it said, and this man went up out of the city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And what he went to do yearly was the feast. So Exodus 23:17 reminds us that 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord. So it was they used to go to the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of harvest, and the feast of ingathering. So that's the 3 feasts that they have every year, right? And all the males are to appear there. So those are the feasts that they had to go every year. 3 times for the year. So every time him go, him carry him family. All right? Verse 4 now continues to say, and when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Penina his wife and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Anna, but the Lord had shut up her womb. So whenever they go to the feast, the priests were there. That's why it said the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, they were the priests of the Lord, and they were there. So when you go to those feasts now, you have to make a sacrifice, right? You offer a sacrifice unto the Lord. So it's going to be a burnt offering or whatever, and then you eat it there. So whatever you offer, you eat it. And let me just break it down from Deuteronomy 12, verses 17 to 18. It says, thou mayest not eat within thy gates the tithe of thy corn, or of thy wine, or of thy oil, or the firstlings of thy herds, or of thy flock, nor any of thy vows which thou vowest, nor thy freewill offerings, or heave offering of thine hand. But thou must eat them before the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, thou and thy son and thy daughter, and thy manservant and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates. And thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God in all that thou puttest thine hands unto. So when they would go to make their offerings to the Lord, the priest would be there to take whatever it was, whether is the flour mingled with oil or whatever them use make cake and whatever burnt offering. They would now offer it up, roast it on the fire, cook it, and then they would eat it as a feast. So he would divide these things. So him give Penina and her children portions to go offer for themselves, and then he would give Anna a portion to go offer for herself. And the fact that he loved her and basically feels sorry for say she not have no children, him give her more than him would have give Penina. Because can you imagine, when you don't have a child in that day and age, is a big disgrace. Them can tell the man to divorce you, or them just bring in another wife that is able to have children. So you're looked down on, you're ridiculed, them just treat you bad. And that was what was happening to her. Right? All right. So it reached to the point now where she go to the feast and she not rejoice, because it's a feast where you go rejoice and you worship the Lord. And they worship the Lord by playing music, dancing, and their feast normally lasts like 7 days. Right? And at this particular feast, she wasn't into it. She was cast down. She was just not feeling herself. Till Elkanah have to say, you know, am I not better to thee than 10 sons? Cause at least you have me, you have your husband. Make her go on so, make her make it look so bad. But she can, you know, it's like every day she walk is a day of sorrow because people are look down upon her, them are whisper about her. And as a woman, not having a child, you feel unfulfilled. If you desire to have one, you're going to feel unfulfilled because women were created to produce. And if she not produce nothing, she gonna feel worthless, useless, like she not have no value. And that was how she was feeling. So no matter what gift she get, no matter how the house big, no matter what, nothing now gonna satisfy her until she is able to do what she was created to do. Right? It continued to say that she was in bitterness of soul. And she couldn't take it no more. Like she said, enough is enough. Let me go talk to God and see where I go on. Right? And she got to the Lord and she said, all right, this is it. And she made a promise. If you do this thing for me, I go give him back to you. Right? And I will give him to you all the days of his life. So just give me the opportunity to produce. Give me the opportunity to say, yes, I have a child. Even if I don't raise him. Just give me that opportunity to say, yes, I have a child. To take away the shame from me. To take away the report. So people not look at me and call me mule and barren and all sort of thing. Just give me the opportunity to produce a child. Make me feel the pain of motherhood, you know. Make me carry that thing. And I will give him back to you. And she made the vow to the Lord, and the Lord honored the vow. Right? So she came in covenant with God. And remember, say, God honors covenant. But because she never talk it out loud, you know, when you're low in your spirit, you feel down, sometimes you cry and you not make no sound, and so she pray in her heart. Right? And nothing, it's like nothing couldn't satisfy her. The words couldn't come out, so she mumble and pray. And Eli sit down there now, and because it was a time of feasting and merrymaking, him have it said she drunk. Right? Him have it said she drunk, and I say, how long will you be drunk, and put away thy wine from thee? Because that's what they would do at these feasts. Drink and make merry and, you know, gallivant and carry on. And she said, no, my Lord. I'm a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I'm just there pour out my soul to the Lord. Me don't know what to do again. Me don't know. And what Eli did, I don't know if him realized that him do it. Right? Him come in agreement with her and said, go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. So him come in agreement with what she said. And I don't think him even realized that him do. But he came in agreement with her. And you know the word of God said, where two or more agree on a thing, it shall be established. Right? So when she realized him come in agreement with her, she said, all right, let me go now. And that time now she go eat and she drink as well. The priest, the priest of the Lord kind of gave her some form of consolation to say, it will be well with you. You shall have your heart's desire. You know? So the man that represented God at that time spoke to her. And she felt better. She was relieved. It's like she said, yes, God hear me. Because at least the priest said, come in agreement and say, yes, it shall be so. So at that kind of lift her spirit. Right? And it said, and they rose up in the morning early and worshiped before the Lord and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Anna his wife, and the Lord remembered her. And the word knew here, was used to say intimately, to have sexual relations. So they went home and they cohabited, and the Lord remembered her. So it tell us at that point she conceived, because she made a vow and a covenant with the Lord, and the Lord honored her covenant. All right. So it came to pass that the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, because I have asked him of the Lord. So she not forget, she remembered, so she asked God for a child, and God give her the child. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord a yearly sacrifice and his vow. So this is another feast them going to know after she have baby. Right? And it said, Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. So she tell you, say, she decided to keep fear part of the bargain too, because she see where God remembered her. God honor where she said, so she have to hold up her end of the bargain. And him say, all right, let it be as though you say, because, him know where she go through, and I don't know if him know the vow what she make with the Lord, but him honor, him respect our decision. And say, all right, do what seem good to thee, tarry until thou have weaned them. Only the Lord establish his word. So whatever God say, whatever agreement you and God come into, let it be so. Right? And it said that she gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her, with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. And that time the weaned children, and when them say wean them, is when you stop breastfeeding them. And those days they would stop breastfeeding the child between 3 to 4 years old. So can you imagine now? You have a 3 or 4 year old child. When them first start basic school or primary prep school or whatever, it like it tear at your heart for go leave them at school for the day. Can you imagine she leaving him for how long? He's going to live there permanently, and the only time she going to see him is when she go up each year, 3 times for the year, with her husband for offer the sacrifices, for go the feast days. That's when she going to see him. And that time she'll carry little clothes for him and little, whatever. So she took him there, and she also took the sacrifices, whatever she needed to sacrifice, whether it was a peace offering or whatever. But she held on to her part of the bargain because she saw that God was faithful. She believed, and she asked, and she received. And she said, God, you remember me, so I go hold on to my end of the bargain. And it shows us that even when we say, God bless me, God, bless me so I can be a blessing. Give me a car so I can help carry around people, and, I use it for help people. And they get the car, and somebody asks if you're right, and you say, no, sir, gas too expensive. I got it so. You never do what you say you're going to do. You tell God, say you need it because you want to help people. You get a house to say, all right, if anybody want a night shelter, I can help them. But then you get the house and you start to cherish the house become your God. But that show, say, Anna had integrity. She was a woman of her word. Amen? She stick by what she said. So she yearned for a child, she longed for a child, but she had enough integrity. And she honored God enough to say, God, give me a child. I just want how it feel if you go through the pregnancy stage, and more you take the shame off of me. So give me that opportunity to be pregnant and to feel it, what it is like. And me give the child, me give him back to you. How much of us can do that? God give us a blessing with heart's desire, and we say, all right, God, we'll give back to you. Him give the house, and you refurbish the house and renovate it and do everything, furnish it out. And him say, all right, take the house and go give Sister Rose, because she not have nowhere. Remember, Melissa come and lick down for your house. Get out of the house and you go catch with somebody. How many of us would be willing to do that? Right? So she went and, she offered a sacrifice, and she said to Eli, O my Lord, as my soul liveth, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. So that is the end of 1 Samuel chapter 1.